Okay, let's give a round of applause to Seth Mulholland, ISCB's lead technologist. We call him Super Seth in the office. I think Seth has averaged about 8 miles a day on a bad knee. So thank you so much, Seth. You're definitely making my job much, much easier. Welcome to the ISCB Town Hall. For our new members, it's a pleasure to have you here and learn a little bit about why we do the town hall. For our old members, you know why you're here. So ISCB is a 501c incorporated organization in the United States. And a part of our bylaws requirement is that we hold a meeting of the members every year in person. And that's this. So this is your opportunity to learn about what's going on, the progress that the society is making, to see the finances, the membership numbers, and all the different activities. I'm just going to quickly introduce our agenda. We're going to have a president's address. Our Wikipedia winners will be announced. The class of fellows will be shown again so that we can recognize a fellow who was unable to join us yesterday morning. We'll tell you a little bit about our awards and our fellows nominations. We'll introduce the brand new voted on incoming board of directors. We'll remind you of your responsibility to vote for your next leaders in the ISCB open election. Then our treasurer will give a brief address. She only has a few moments to do questions, so please bear with us. I kind of double booked her. It's my fault, it's not hers, but I will be here through the duration of the meeting to answer any of the questions that she will not be able to answer. Our Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Committee Chair will come up and tell you about the annual report as well as the newestly approved strategic plan by the Board of Directors. Then we'll have the ISCB Bioinformatics Advances Journal Report. The Student Council will recognize our 40 travel fellowship winners. And then if we have any remaining time, it'll be open mic. Cool? All right, so now I get to bring the ISCB president to the stage, Peja Radivojevic. Gosh, I got 3 years to get this right, y'all.
Thanks, Diane. Peja Radivojevic. All right, thanks everybody for coming here. So as Diane said, we are holding this meeting to tell you a little bit about the society. Of course, most important information will come from Janet and Alex Bateman, but my part is to tell you a little bit of the introduction. And so here are the points that I would like to address for today. So just as a preview to what will come later, as you can see, strong membership growth. So finally, after a couple of years of struggling due to COVID, where the numbers were not looking great, especially in the finances, and finally we are back to being solvent, so to say, and the numbers look good. We have, for the first time, more than 4,000 members. These are the active members. Usually there's many, many more members, but memberships expire, and so what we really think is there's definitely more than 10,000 people who are sort of fluctuating, but not necessarily renewing their memberships all the time. So finances are good. Beyond that, some of the activities that we had the previous year, I will start with the neutrality statement. So we have, the board of directors have approved in April that we will be neutral with respect to socio-political events in the world and will not be issuing statements. So our objectives are obviously scientific and outreach for the science, so nurturing, advancing our field of computational biology, advancing the entire society, not just ISCB, but the society in general. And we do that through responsible science and ethical science. And so we have decided that at this point in time, we will not be engaging in political events in the world, simply will stay silent. That does not mean that you have to be silent and individuals have to be silent. Just on behalf of organization, we will not be issuing statements. Now, as far as some of the initiatives that we have, and if you have any questions, happy to answer. As far as of some of the initiatives that we are undertaking, so I will just say a few that are currently amongst our priorities. One is industry engagement. Industry engagement is important. We have sort of dropped the ball a little bit over the last few years, did not have much of industry participation and strong connections. So we have reformed practically our industry advisory council. We have a great chair who couldn't make it to ISMB this year, Sean Mooney. He's currently in NIH. and have assembled a group of 15 or so members from both academia and industry, and great ideas are flying around. I think next year, we try to organize actually a session this year here. Actually, there is one member from the Industry Council. Thank you for being here. Oh, two. Oh, Lakshmi is here too. Yes, I'm sorry. Three, Francis. Okay. Perfect. Yes, please do, please do. So if you would like to work with ISCB, please do, Francis and Lakshmi, just so that people can see you. Oh, I'm sorry. And Eve. All right, pattern recognition did not work. 5 members are here. Please talk to them. Please talk to them, because we are trying to reinvigorate this. There's a lot of opportunity. We do not see engagement with industry as that we are coming and asking for money and we are getting the money and spending the money. That is maybe old-fashioned way of how it works. We're trying to form partnerships that will work for both, okay, and serve our members primarily. So our job as a society is to serve the members. And by serving our members well, we will have more members, industry will come, and things will be vibrant. So that is the idea for that engagement. And we hope that already next year we will have a session at ISMB and then go from there. Now, we have also started, and it's really nascent as of now, some kind of engagement with philanthropic and government agencies where the idea is similar as with industry, but these would be nonprofits. So I don't have anything to report here except that if you would like to be engaged in these activities, if you have contacts in Chan Zuckerberg or somewhere else, there's a lot of foundations around, that it would be great to, that's just in the US, and of course we are the world organization. We would love to be nurturing those types of initiatives and also explore partnerships with them. And this can come through causes. We are working with the Function Cozy, trying to put something together with one nonprofit. It should be as decentralized as we can, but also please tell us if anything is happening so we can support those activities. Okay. The next one is partnerships with other organizations and conferences. This has been one of the big priorities where we thought that the opportunities were missed in previous years. I just want to let you know what I mean by that. There's a lot of regional events and societies that exist around the world where we think we can support each other, in the sense that, let's give some examples. One is Mid-South Bioinformatics Society in the United States that goes somewhere from Georgia to Oklahoma, okay? And so we can support their events, we can engage with their members and try to nurture the field of computational biology in that region. We are doing similar activity with the French Society right now. We have talked to ECCB about strengthening these directions. And so any kind of activity where we can jointly work and be some kind of organization that will support you. For example, we can backstop your conference from losing money, and then the rest of that will be shared in terms of if there's any profit, and then put back into the activities of the society or the local society. So those types of activities, there's a lot of opportunity. We will have an event in China soon, I think in October, if I'm not mistaken, 27th of October, around those dates. So there's a lot going on. There will be new events that we from the board have already made sure will happen. But we will inform you when there's something more concrete along those directions. And finally, I just want to mention a little bit about education and training activities. This is somewhere where we have been well known, made a lot of progress. Publications have been made about different standards and for education, for creating personas, for different types of educational directions. And so ISMB does a lot. So if you're interested in being engaged in educational activities, please contact us. I think there's plenty. Michelle is here, Brazos, Nikki is here, and probably others that I can't see right now. So yeah, just contact us. Diane, we will facilitate all of that. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of opportunities through the Student Council. And please be aware that students are self-organized, doing pretty well, and we want to support those activities as well. I should just say that we did have one opportunity, I think it's not here in the slides, that previous year we have made a little bit of profit. I think Janet might discuss that a little bit more. We had a profit of $45,000, I believe, which we have put back into the causes as a proposal for plans and programs. So we received 6 programs and we have funded them in the previous year. We are a nonprofit organization. So we will support those types of fellowships and activities. And if that type of opportunity arises next year, there will be an open call again, and we will be able to support these activities. Okay, so this is brief address about the operations of the society. I want to now move to 2023, 2024 Wikipedia award winners. History, there was a board meeting in 2012 where Alex Bateman came and proposed that this be an activity, and it was very, very enthusiastically received, and it happened immediately that year. The idea is that we engage in an activity of folks editing Wikipedia pages related to computational biology, and those are then later reviewed by the judges, the initial page versus the final page, and the awards are given by ISCB. So now we have two categories, English and non-English articles, and we had, as you can see here, 254 English articles, Spanish, Chinese, Portuguese, Catalan, German, Korean, Swahili, and Urdu, one each. These are going to be open for 2024, 2025 in September. So please consider being engaged in these activities. This is the ISCB Wikipedia Committee core team. At least one person is here. I will not. Okay. Several people are present. Thank you. Thank you for being judges for that and for organizing everything for this competition. It's important activity for us to spread the good word about computational biology in the world. I don't think Lonnie is here. I haven't seen him, so I'm just going to say not everybody is here. So let's go briefly to the winners for a Wikipedia competition. In the English group, we have the third place, or $150 cash prize goes to the concept of orphan gene. And so we have Jonah, Elias, Mikhailo, Jake, and Kyle. Congratulations to all of you. If is anybody here from the group? No problem. Congratulations to them. Moving forward, comparative genomics is the second term, Menaka and Sricharan. Is anybody here maybe? I just want to say in person thanks. If not, for example, I went to check this comparative genomics. It looks pretty good. It's very well done. It's a great entry. So they did an awesome job. $250 cash prize. And finally, imaging informatics, Andrew, Drew, Julian, Jonathan, and Jake. Perhaps nobody is here from them too. $500 cash prize. Congratulations to all of them. Moving forward, non-English Wikipedia competition winners. Thank you. Regrouping, right? Jaime, congratulations. Congratulations. Farzana, can I have help here? Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Mariella, congratulations, $250. And finally, genome mining. Okay. Andres, Cesar, Shade, and Diana. Congratulations to everybody, $500. All right, so just a reminder, we have already introduced our fellows today, last couple of days. We have a class of 15 fellows this year. Those are the best representatives in the field of computational biology. It will be really my pleasure to especially say congratulations to Natasha Prozhul and also to give you your plaque. Congratulations. Let's take a picture. Congratulations again. Please nominate ISCB fellows. The deadline is November 18. We cannot emphasize enough how important it is to nominate people. We can only award those who are nominated. There's a pretty rigorous process that takes from November until probably April or May, sometimes even longer. So it is done very carefully and very thoroughly. Please make a good nomination case. It's very important. It's actually being read, and find people who can support that case with additional letters. And if you would like to know more details, it needs to be a solid argument because it is read. So please consider nominating ISCB fellows. Now, ISCB annual awards. We have already presented these awards. I just want to mention them again. We have 4 that we give. So ISCB Overton Prize, we saw a talk this morning. Accomplishments by a senior scientist, we saw a talk. ISCB Innovator Award, more of a mid-career accomplishment. And finally, outstanding contributions to service, to ISCB in terms of service, education, and leadership. So those are the awards. Please consider nominating people. This deadline is December 6th, 2024. And now I would like to announce the elected members of the board this round. So we have 1 returning member and 1 sort of returning member in a different role. So Lakshmi Parida, congratulations Lakshmi for being re-elected. Gonzalo Parra being elected in a regular track, I would say, right? You were a student council representative before on the board. Now he ran as a standalone member, and he made it through. Both have been incredibly active. You can ask us more about that, so it is great. Please nominate folks for the board as well when you can. Talk to people to be engaged in these services. We need active people in the society. It's very important. We have Jan Ponti. Jan has run with Tiana the proceedings this year, has been really excellent. And finally, Verena Ras, University of Cape Town. So congratulations to all incoming directors. They can only do 2 terms. So there's plenty of time, and there's limited time that should make everybody work very hard to get something done. And finally, I want to remind you that the polls are open for the leadership positions that go by the direct vote. So for the board of directors, the vote goes from the current board members. So those are the people who vote. For these leadership positions, which are the ISCB officers, the vote is from the entire society. So the polls are open. You can vote now. We have several positions. One is the vice president, one is the treasurer, and there's several other positions for the student council. And so please vote. It's very important. Even people who get elected like to see good turnout and actually strong support. It's a great motivator if they end up knowing in the end how it went. So, and here we have already me, Alex, Michelle, and Russell are here. Feel free to talk to us if you find anything that society needs to know about. You would like to tell us. We are wandering around all the time, and we are happy to talk to all of you. I'm very happy to talk to all of you. All right, so with this, I toss it to Janet to tell you about finances.
Good. So Pedro already touched on a number of the topics. I'm always very happy to stand up and give a positive Treasury report. It hasn't always been the case in the past few years. Just maybe some background. Why is it important? Why are the society's finances important? They're important because money coming into the society, the revenues of the society, support the activities of the society. So they support our ability to give travel fellowships, to provide money to the student council to organize meetings, to support our communities of special interest, education activities. So we try to, because we're a nonprofit, plow money back into activities of the society. And you'll see as I go through what we're trying to do with the finances that we have at hand now. So here's some numbers. Pedro said we have, we're in a strong position financially, and that's the case. From this high-level overview, what you can see is that the current assets of the society in 2024, we have about $3.7 million in total, or about 1.3 million of which is available cash in the bank. The rest of that money is in investments. And the society's investments are a very important way in which we survive difficult times. And some of us might think about the difficult times of the last few years during COVID, when there was no income because we had no ability to hold meetings. A couple of years ago, the board decided to put money into these investments, and they proved their worth by allowing us to run the society and run most of the operations and activities of the society during a time where we couldn't generate any income. So the finance committee of ISCB has met. We have a finance committee, and we discussed how much should we hold in reserves? How much should we have in investments? And the idea and the decision of that committee and the recommendation to the board was that we should hold in reserve an amount equal to 1 year's operating expenses for the society. And that's an amount of approximately $2 million. So that's what we'll try and keep in reserves, in investments, so that we can bridge any year of difficulty. And that also means that if you look here, the rest of the money that's available can be invested into programs, into active activities of the society. So what you see here are the gross revenues and expenses over the last year. And as I pointed out, if you look at 2020, 2021, we didn't have very much income. You can see it's recovering, 2022, 3, 4. If you look down here, you can see the numbers in brackets. Those are the years in which we had a loss, and our investments allowed us to bridge those losses. But you can also see that last year we had a revenue profit of around $180,000. And that was because we had a very successful meeting in Lyon, a very large meeting with lots of attendees. And that profit allows us to think about how to build the society, build activities of the society. And so after seeing this, the board of directors approved that we could allocate some of these resources to new activities that promote the society's aims. And so one of the things we did is we added to the budget for travel fellowships for this meeting. So we added about $16,000 to that. So we could support more students coming to the meeting. And then we decided that it would be nice if we could expand the activities of the society. And we were looking for really innovative ideas, interesting things we could do, new directions that the society could take, and decided to do that by an open call. So we put out a call last year to the members of the society saying, we'd like to start some new activities. Please put in essentially a grant proposal. And we received just 6 applications for that. We allocated about $45,000. And those 6 applications cover mostly areas that are education, training, travel to regional meetings, so not just ISMB, the Student Council, and also some of the sustainability, the green initiatives of the society. And after reviewing all those proposals, we decided that we would fund all 6 of them. And we plan again to make a call in the next year, assuming that we do well this year, which we project we will. So please keep an eye out for that. I would really like to see some new directions. What we have here are sort of more things that we're already doing and just supporting them a bit more, but I think we could be a bit more creative in the kinds of activities we have in the society. So moving on to membership. It's the aim of ISCB to represent worldwide people in computational biology. So we'd like to be the society that represents the whole community. And so we have now members in 92 countries. You can see them colored here. The depth of the color reflects the number of members in each of these regions. So members in 92 countries, and the programs that we run aim to expand that and to solidify membership in different regions of the world. If you look here, you can see that the majority of members are still in Europe and North America. There's rather even proportions of membership in those 2 regions. One thing that's been really positive in the last year is that we've seen quite good growth in other regions, particularly in Asia and also in Latin America, as well as in Africa. And I think that is just reflecting the fact that we're organizing more activities together with local societies, more local meetings, which of course bring in people who become aware of the society and become members. So if you look at the membership by type, and this is the first time I'm seeing this slide, we have, perhaps as expected, most of our members are professional members. There's, I think, scope to increase the number of student members. You can see we don't have all that many student members. We have, at the present time, just over 4,000 members, which is actually the largest membership we've had ever. So we thought last year we had a great total. At the end of 2023, we had 3,700 members. We now currently have 4,000. Another interesting thing to note here is that we have this new category of laboratory memberships. And that means that you can as a laboratory, sign up, and you can sign up actually also for multiple years as an individual or as a lab. So that allows you to decide now that you would like to be a member for the next 5 years, perhaps. And from that, you get some discounts. So I encourage you to look at the membership categories. Don't necessarily just take 1 year, but have a look if it would make sense to take a multi-year membership, or even perhaps a lab membership if you have a big lab. I think I would leave it there. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to handle those. As Diane said, I have to run, unfortunately, to another meeting. So if you don't have questions for me now, you can ask Diane at the end. Good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janet. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage Alejandra, who is our chair of our Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee, to talk a little bit about the recent reports and strategic plan.
Thank you, Diane. I'm really happy to be here. So I just want to introduce to you the names of the people that are the EDI committee, and I'm happy to share the chairing with Lucia Peixoto. And as you can see, we have representation from different places in the world, and hopefully we're bringing different voices into the table. So regarding the members' identity survey, we had a decrease in participation in the survey, but based on the current data, ISMB membership continues to be predominantly male and North America and Europe-centric. However, this reflects, as Janet just showed, our base of members. Regarding the awards and fellowship identity reports, we had a decrease in nominations for all awards. So please do help us nominate people, localize people that are doing good science, that are helping the society to grow, and nominate them. That helps a lot. Regarding fellows and award nominations and election, they continue also to be male nominated. However, these nominations represent the society composition. We have more men, so we get more men to be nominated. And there was a significant increase in the category not provider and prefer not to declare. And in some cases, for some awards, this number was higher than the females. So this is partly due to the fact that we understand that the survey is becoming a bit long, and also that maybe we are failing to communicate the relevance of filling in these forms. So we need to improve on that. So that's something that we will be working on. Regarding travel fellowship, for this year, the total funding for ISMB 2024 was $31,000. We got support from different causes, and we got a total of 358 applications, and 30 people were selected. For ECCB, there was a budget of $5,000, and 10 awards were granted. And we also have the ICB Dependent Care Award, and this is money that can help people come and care for their people at home, not only kids, but also elderly people. So please communicate that this exists. I just learned, and I just saw a lot of babies here and asked their parents, and they didn't know about this grant. So we really need to improve in the communication of its existence. However, we got 19 people that applied, and we granted 6 awards, and the total funding was $3,000. And regarding the strategic plan, the previous plan was designed for 1 year, but it ended up to being executed during 5 years. So we now dated it for 5 years. So this strategic plan will run from 2025 to 2030. We're based on the components that were described in the previous strategic plan, because we think they are necessary, they are important, and they should be continued. And one of them is to maintain the EDI committee, to continue with the progress assessments, To foster the voluntary training, there is a webpage where people can go and find resources to do the training and into learning why this is important. We have a recruitment initiative we will continue, and mentoring programs that we also need to foster and continue. We added 2 components now, the recruitment and leadership development initiative, because we acknowledge that we have done a lot of progress in the representation, in particularly in leadership positions in our society and in the awards. However, it's important to revise the impact of the strategy in the community of special interest, or more within the scientific interest communities, how we're fostering the representation. And in particular, as we know that in the student base, we have very good diversity, how we can help the students continue in their careers and really help science get better. So we also are working in community engagement and outreach. As I just told you, sometimes we're not the best at communicating the relevance of the survey, or that the caregiving award exists. So we really need to put efforts on this. So last is to say that we need you. All these efforts require time. So please contact me if you are interested in joining and putting some work into this. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ali. Now we're just going to move to our journal report. And Seth is going to do his magic for us up here on the stage. We'll invite Alex Bateman, one of our editors-in-chief, and Thomas Lingauer is also with us today.
Okay, hi, good evening, everyone. So while Seth is changing that, so just to say that I'm very proud to work alongside Tom Lengauer and the rest of the editorial team. This has been a real exciting adventure, and yeah, the journal, I hope to tell you today, is doing really well. So the journal represents all of the science that goes on within this society. It's really supposed to be our society journal. And sometimes people say, well, what's the scope of the journal? And the way that we explain it is simply, can you imagine this science being presented at ISMB? If the answer is yes, it's almost certainly within scope. As well as that content, we're also looking out for new emerging, exciting areas of science. And so we keep an open mind. The journal is a collaboration between the Society and Oxford University Press, and they're just simply amazing partners, super supportive in everything that we do. So we're just over 3 years old now. So I think we're out of nappies, but we've still got a lot of growing to do. We are very excited that we have an impact factor. We're not motivated by impact factor, but we found that many authors actually were required that the journal had an impact factor to submit to us. And so it's a positive real number between 0 and 100. What it is, we don't really care. Okay, so the real heart of our journal is that we aim to encourage diversity in all of its aspects. And we want to have an author-centric approach to publishing. So we would like the publication process of your scientific work to not be a pitched battle between the reviewers and the authors and editors and so on, and for this to be a pleasant process that's constructive, and will end up with the publication of your work in our journal. And we put a lot of effort into that, and our editors, some of whom are here, I'm not going to say how many because it will be wrong. Yeah, we really appreciate all of the hard work that they put in. So we process the papers rapidly and with care, and our first decision is currently averaging at 30 days, which I'm pretty proud of. And just to reiterate, so our decisions about the science are not driven by the perceived impact of the science. Okay, so yes, we're very happy to take your high impact work, but also we're very happy to take the important but less sexy work that is important for you to publish too. So here's the team, and one of the innovations that we have had is that we've grown the senior management team. And so Ada Ungroa is now a senior editor who handles the manuscripts and makes final decisions. We're really proud to have her help. She's been really fantastic. Yeah, you can see we have a well-balanced set of associate editors. In terms of the authors, so we've been looking at, so we had our editorial board meeting and we had like hundreds of slides of stats. We love looking at stats for the journal. So I'm not going to show them all to you. But so in terms of authorship, we have quite a good spread. We have in here, so 8% of the papers are from the Global South, which I think is even higher than the representation of the membership in the Global South. So I think we're doing a good job at encouraging publications from around the world. We've also looked into reviewers. I haven't got that data here. And yeah, we have a good diversity of reviewers as well, which I'm very happy about. You know, we make efforts to select our reviewers from all around the world. In terms of growth, we are continuing to grow. So we had 337 submissions in, last year. And of those, 198 papers were published. So the acceptance rate is quite high, but I think that's we do make positive efforts if papers are not acceptable initially. We take the constructive comments of the reviewers and give the authors, you know, all the opportunities that they need to get to a publishable standard. So the final thing I just wanted to say is how you can help. Okay, so the first thing is, you know, submitting to the journal will be, you know, it helps the society in many ways to submit to the journal, which supports the society. If you can encourage others in your lab or beyond to submit, that would be excellent. We have a rather nice X/Twitter feed that is run by Diane and her team, and you can follow that and find new content, retweet that. We'd appreciate it. You may get an invite to review. If you do, please say yes. If you're too busy and you're not going to complete the review in like a reasonable amount of time, then you can, we really appreciate people who send in alternate reviewer suggestions, a couple of names of people that you think will be good for that review. And do that quickly, and we'll be very, very happy for that. So I think on that note, I will stop there. Thank you for your attention. Thomas, did you have another? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Done by the publication committee, and both Alex and I will talk. Alex will talk on how we deal with generative AI, and I will talk about a little bit more about the review process. So if you're interested in that, please come to that session.
Yeah, so that's a demystifying the publication process, which Francis and Raghu have organized. Okay, so do we have time for questions? Yep, okay.
Thank you. It's been an exciting thing to have this journal as part of our community. Now I'd like to, while the operations of the society and the activities of the society are extremely important, what's even more important is the amazing work that our students are doing. So I'd like them to come up and highlight that for you. And then at the very end, we'll recognize our Travel Fellowship Award winners and take some questions.
Well, hi everyone. I'm very happy that this is the last time I'm here officially representing the Student Council, because I have evolved to be a full board of directors member. So I'm very happy because the council is very healthy, as you will see. So how do I move? Okay. So what's the Student Council? For whoever doesn't know, it's a global organization that has been connecting, nurturing, supporting, and guiding the next generation of bioinformaticians and computational biologists worldwide. It was created in 2004, which means we are on its 20th anniversary. It's constituted by an executive committee, and then this committee coordinates activities and regional student groups all over the world in all of the continents. This is our executive team that it's finishing its term. From here, Jessid and I are retiring. The rest are continuing, and we may have some new additions as well. So these are the people that are running for elections. Please vote, because even when it's not a competition, we would like that they have support from the membership. So please vote. Go to your ISB profile and vote, please. So we have this committee. So the Regional Steering Group Committee is constituted by these people. I want to really congratulate Pradeep Eranti, because the amount of work this committee has by having presence in 28 regional steering groups across the world is really huge. It's a lot of work, because not only they have to renew every year every regional steering group in the world, they have to coordinate different symposia, workshops, hackathons, virtual events, etc. They also coordinate 2 funding calls per year. So far, this year, we have funded 19 events between the last report and now. So it's really amazing what they do. Pradeep, this year, he organized a roundtable where we give all our regional steering groups the opportunity to come and meet virtually with us, to tell us what they need, what we are doing okay, what we are not doing so okay. So we really take criticism if they have it, because we want to improve every year. So this time there were 12 RSGs that attended this event, and they actually, the feedback is pretty nice, and we are really working on improving our activities based on this. So for you to have an idea of how big the steering council is, it has become really complex and really big. We have presence in all these countries that you see a color either blue or sky blue. Blue ones are the ones that have been recognized so far in 2024, and the ones that are in sky blue are either recently created or in the process of being renewed. So if you are a student and you want to participate, if there is a regional student group in your country, please get in contact with them or with us so we can put you in contact. Or you can create your own in your country. And if there is no regional student group in your country, you can also be part of a nearby student council, regional student group. Then our finance committee, led by Jessid, who is also retiring, and I really appreciate, Jesse, that you stayed an extra period to help us to make this transition, because we are a little bit old and we were tired, but I think now we are ready to leave. Jesse leads this committee that takes into account, takes care of administrating our money, and they have funded our regional, our continental events in Latin America that will happen in November, in Asia that will happen in October. They also have funded 5 in-person events from different RSCs in Turkey, Spain, India, Peru, and Brazil. Then this period, for the first time, we included an EDI committee that is led by Wisdom. I don't know if Wisdom is here. He's not here. Okay, but he's doing a great work, because the council has become really big and really complex, and we want our members to be diverse, to be inclusive, and also to be fair, and that people manage their behavior with respect towards each other. So we needed to create a constitution. So Wisdom has developed a guideline in terms of EDI to rule our events that is already being taken into account for the Asian and the Student Council Symposium in Latin America, and also for this symposium here. We are in the process of developing a constitution to regulate behavior, to have a code of conduct, to know if there is any breach to the code of conduct, what's the action to be taken in case there is a bad behavior from some member, so we can rule the behavior of people in a healthy way. We would like to have an EDI information talk to educate our members. We had this plan for this year, but because of different things, we were not able to do it. But Wisdom and the rest of the ET are working quite hard to try to have this for the next period, so we can educate all of the leaders and the members of our organization. And something very nice that was led by Anna here as part of the committee from education and internship is that we have a podcast now that is available on YouTube and Spotify. The idea of this podcast is to feature different voices from senior members of the society, or not so senior as well, maybe. But it's more not so much into the science, but more about knowing the personal stories of the people. How did they become who they are? Which were the challenges they faced when they were younger? Which were the fears they had? Because I think that's very healthy, because in science, usually we always show stories of success. And this is pretty nice to come and see, but then it creates a strong imposter syndrome in younger people, because then we believe that if we fail, we are never going to make it towards the other side. And by talking in all these years with senior members of society, their stories are full of failure. What makes them special is that they really know how to overcome this failure. So I think the stories are very valuable for all. So just stay tuned. There was a new episode recently from the education committee as well. So go to Spotify and just give us some views and share it in your networks. Also, we have an internship program. For the last years, we have been a little bit struggling, as I think as everything during the pandemic years was a little bit difficult, but we are now retaking this program, and we are having some opportunities being speaking about in New York and also in the Pasteur in France. From the web team, we have a very healthy web team. This is a very difficult team because it requires some technical knowledge to take care of. So if you are interested and you would like to contribute, we are really looking forward to have new members. But the members that we have some right now, Blessy, Prince, Spencer, and Wim are doing great. They take care of creating all the websites for all the regional student groups, for all the symposia and so on, and maintain. They are updating all the technologies, so they're doing actually really great. Then, well, they take care of all of these webinars and regional student groups. We have a webinar. The idea is to have some sort of list of webinars online. We want to collaborate with the COSIs, and the first pilot that we have is to collaborate with the 3DC COSI, where we have every month a webinar featuring 2 speakers, 1 senior speaker, 1 more junior speaker. All the webinars are uploaded in YouTube, and this is a collaboration also with an external community from Elixir. So this is being taken care of by me and Niladri, and I think this can be replicated in other courses as well, because for a lot of people that are not able to go to the conferences, it's also very good to have these things online so they can also participate, and this is very, very successful in my opinion. We also had the first LGBTQ plus symposium from ISMB. There were 3 keynotes that were talking about scientific stuff of what it means to be LGBTQI plus person in science. What are the challenges? What are the struggles? Then we had 2 keynotes who were talking about their personal experiences being part of the community. I think it was a really great event. Also, all the talks are online in YouTube. You can go and see if you are curious. And now I will just give the stage to Anna, who's going to update us on the successes on our 20th anniversary Student Council Symposium.
Okay, so this is just an example of the last year, that because after the symposium takes place, sometimes we have the opportunity to draft a paper to share the experiences. And also you can, I will skip this, but this is just to show that it's the upcoming symposiums. As you can see, we have expanded to the European Student Council Symposium, and now there has been some work in expanding also to Asia. So I'm going to also, here is the future symposiums for Asia and the Latin American Student Council Symposium happening in November. That is well recognized right now in this region to promote bioinformatics. So now I will talk a little bit about the Student Council Symposium of this year that happened 2 days ago. So because it was the 20th anniversary, we have a lot of pressure to create a high quality symposium. And this is so we had 73 registrants and 12 virtual. And so this is my amazing co-chair Miguel Fernandez, who is here. So both of us, we have this pressure to create this symposium, but finally, of course, we have the help of an amazing, fantastic team that without them it will be impossible to gather all these amazing keynote speakers. So we have the amazing opportunity to have these amazing people, Martin Stanger, Manuel Corpas, and Ana Per. So these 2, it was 2 in person and 1 in virtual, showing the latest research in structural bioinformatics and single cell RNA sequencing. So it was very inspiring to hear of them. We also have an amazing roundtable run by pioneers that were highly involved in their early career in the student council, but now they have important roles. And also we have Camila Castillo, that she's a master student in Peru. So we wanted to do that, to have a panel that was, we could ask questions for people that are at different different stages of the professional careers. So the thing of this roundtable was not like a scientifically driven. It was more like a tips, like how students can be how can manage their time, how can what are the abilities that will gain if when they do this type of volunteering, so they can see the impact of joining of joining of these type of activities, and then see the impact in the future in their professional careers. Also, we have amazing winners for posters and oral presentations. So here are the winners. And yeah, so that was in summary the Student Council Symposium 28th anniversary, so 20 years.
I think it's time for questions. If you have questions for the council. Oh, you can tell us, give us where should we upload these things, and we will be happy
Let me
to
help
put
you
it.
there, my friend.
Okay.
You can actually also view all of the content on ISCB Nucleus, which is web browser based. If you just navigate to the online content library, you can look at every single thing that we either capture at the conferences or from a webinar or training perspective, so you don't have to go through YouTube, Zoom, or anything like that. You want to say thank you?
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? All right, now I have the pleasure of, hopefully some of them showed up. I did tell them it was a requirement in their acceptance emails. So Ali had noted that we had 358 applications for travel fellowships. And while we would have loved to have funded all 358 individuals, a committee had gathered to look at the applications. And the applications were chosen not only for need, but for scientific excellence. And from that, we had 30 first accepted. And then the cozies came back in the 11th hour and said, hey, we're going to add 10 more. So we had a total of 40 different travel fellowships that got to come to this meeting. Very diverse group of people from 17 different countries. So if you're a travel fellowship awardee, please stand and be recognized for your excellence in science and the opportunity to join this meeting. Please stand. As you can see, as you look around the room, there are amazing diverse faces. And these are not only graduate students or postdocs, but early career researchers that we were so happy to be able to fund. Please stick around. We would love to get a group photo. And now I guess I go on the hot seat. Questions? The treasurer and the president left me.
What actually is the relationship between ISCB and the various regional, or country-specific organizations? So you mentioned that, it was mentioned early on, and just I don't think I fully understand how does that relate to the sister organizations in other countries.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So ISCB has an affiliated groups program, and any organized group within a country can apply for affiliation. We have several tiers within that affiliation group. It's contributing, established, and provisional. And as you move through the maturity of your organization, you can actually apply for funding from ISCB through our affiliates incentive program. And that's based on the total number of members in your country. You don't have to do everything. We make all the calculations on our end and basically write a check to you each year if you submit your report. So it's a very easy application process. And we'd love to get more regional affiliated groups. Right now, we have about 21 worldwide, and they are more in the organization like an ISCB. And then our student regional groups have a different application process that is a little bit different, because you do have to have a PI who is going to be the mentor of the group. So if you are thinking about starting one or you're part of a group that is not affiliated with ISCB, I strongly suggest you go to leadership and say, hey, I know where free money is. Don't tell Janet I said that. It's our secret. Anything else? Well, I so very much appreciate everyone's attendance today. And I recall that I never told you who I was. So I'm Diane Kovacs, ISCB CEO, and it was great to have you with us. Please, if there's anything left in the back cookies, please feel free to take them with you. We do have the ISC booth available if you have any questions after this, or you just prefer to ask your question one-on-one. And I look forward to seeing the rest of you at the rest of the conference, and enjoy your evening. Oh, so Alex wants to say one quick thing.
Yeah, so we should also thank Diane. She does an absolutely incredible job.
You're
and
very
so thank
welcome.
you,
It's my
Diane.
pleasure. My pleasure.